Have you ever wondered, she already knows, she knows you like her, she knows you care, she knows you're waiting for her reply, and yet she's still not responding? Think about that for a second. If someone truly wanted to be in your life, would you ever have to chase them this hard? No. When a person genuinely wants to talk to you, they make it clear. There's no confusion, no mixed signals, no waiting by the phone, hoping for a reply that never comes. But you're sitting there. Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share with you an important truth that every man needs to understand in order to build respect from women immediately. During my research on female psychology and the factors that drive attraction, I came across a saying that made me rethink everything. Overanalyzing her last message, convincing yourself that maybe she didn't see it. Maybe she got busy, maybe she'll reply later. But deep down, you know the truth. She saw it. She just didn't care enough to answer. And that silence, that is her answer. You don't need to text her again to get some forced response. You don't need to beg for closure. The closure is right there in the unread message, in the ghosted conversation, in the way she used to be excited to talk to you, but now treats you like an after. No response is a response, and it's the only one that truly matters. The moment you stop looking for explanations is the moment you start taking back your power. Now, let's be honest. This hurts. Rejection always does. But instead of running from it, face it, accept it. Let it sink in so deeply that you never forget this lesson. Because the truth is, if she wanted you, you would know. You wouldn't have to guess. You wouldn't have to wait, and you definitely wouldn't have to send that one last text, hoping it magically changes how she feels about you. But here's where most guys mess up. Instead of walking away, they keep trying. They send out one more text. They try to be clever to spark a conversation, to remind her of what they had, but all it does is push her further away. She already knows where you stand. And if she's not texting back, it's because she's either not interested or she's enjoying the power of knowing you're still chasing. Either way, you lose the moment you reach out again. You don't win people over by proving how much you care. You win by proving that you respect yourself enough not to beg for attention. The longer you keep texting her, the more you're reinforcing the idea that she's above you, that she has control, that she can ignore you and still have you waiting. But the second you go silent, that's when everything shifts. That's when she starts wondering why you're not chasing anymore. Women don't get attracted to desperation. They get attracted to confidence, to mystery, to men who know their worth, and a man who knows his worth would never waste his time on someone who doesn't appreciate him. So before you send that text, stop, think, ask yourself, do you really want to be the guy who begs for scraps of attention? Or do you want to be the guy who respects himself enough to walk away? Because here's the bottom line. If she wanted to talk to you, she would no excuses, no overthinking, no waiting by your phone, hoping for a reply that will never come the moment you accept. This is the moment you free yourself, and trust me, once you truly accept it, you'll never feel the need to text her again. 2, every text pushes her further away. Most guys think that if they just say the right thing, she'll change her mind. They convince themselves that this text will be the one that brings her back. Maybe if they explain their feelings better, she'll suddenly realize what she's missing. Maybe if they make her laugh, she'll remember how good things used to be. Maybe if they ask her a question, she'll feel obligated to reply. But none of that works. In fact, it does the opposite. It pushes her further away. The more you chase, the less she values you. It's human nature. We don't appreciate what's handed to us on a silver platter. We appreciate what we have to work for. And if you're constantly texting her, trying to spark a conversation, trying to remind her of your existence, you're making it too easy. There's no mystery, no challenge, no reason for her to put any effort in. She knows that no matter how much she ignores you, you'll still be there waiting for her reply. And that's exactly why she doesn't reply. She doesn't feel the need to She knows you're not going anywhere. She knows she has you wrapped around her finger, and she knows that the moment she wants attention, all she has to do is send a single message and you'll come running. That's not attraction, that's not respect, that's pity, and trust me, you never want to be the guy she pities. Every time you send another text, you're reinforcing the idea that you need her more than she needs you. And that imbalance is what kills attraction. People are drawn to confidence, to independence, to those who are secure enough to walk away when they're not being treated right. But every text you send is proof that you can't let go, proof that she has control, proof that she can ignore you and still have you begging for her attention. And let's be real, do you really want to be in this position? Do you really want to keep lowering yourself for someone who doesn't even respect you enough to reply? At some point, you have to ask yourself, what do I get out of this? What am I really fighting for? Because if the only thing keeping you stuck is the hope that maybe she'll suddenly change her mind, then you're already lost. Here's what you need to understand. People don't change their minds because of texts. They change their minds because of actions. And the most powerful action you can take right now is to go completely silent. No more texts, no more calls, no more checking her social media, nothing, because the second you stop trying, that's when she starts wondering, that's when she starts questioning, that's when she starts feeling the void of your absence. But if you keep texting, she'll never feel that she'll never miss you. She'll never regret losing you, because as far as she's concerned, she never really lost you in the first place. You were always there, waiting, hoping, chasing, and that's exactly why she doesn't want you. So stop texting her, stop chasing, stop giving her the validation she's not even asking for if she ever had feelings for you. Your silence will make her question everything. And if she didn't, then texting her again would have never changed that anyway. 3, you need to flip the script. You've been playing the game all wrong. You think that if you keep trying, if you stay consistent, if you just remind her of how much you care, she'll eventually come around. But here's what you don't realize. Every time you reach out, you're reinforcing the very thing that made her lose interest in the first place. Attraction is not built through availability. It's built through mystery, distance, and self-respect. And right now, she doesn't have to wonder about you at all. She knows exactly where you are. She knows that if she wanted to talk, she could, but she doesn't. And that should tell you everything you need to know. So what do? You flip the script. You stop being predictable. You stop being the guy she knows will text her. You stop being the guy who lingers in the background, waiting for a moment of attention. Instead, you become the guy who disappears. The guy who stops checking her social media. The guy who no longer replies immediately. The guy who, for the first time in a long time, becomes unreachable. This is where the shift happens, the moment you stop making yourself available. She starts noticing, maybe not right away, but eventually she might not care. Today, she might not care tomorrow, but one day she'll realize that the guy who used to chase her is gone. And when that day comes, she'll feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. Curiosity, because here's the thing, people only appreciate what they think they might lose. And right now, she doesn't feel like she's lost anything. She feels like she can have you whenever she wants, but the moment she senses that you've moved on, that you're no longer in her orbit, that you're living your life without even thinking about her, that's when the tables turn. That's when she starts wondering. That's when she starts thinking, did I make a mistake? This isn't about playing games. This isn't about manipulating her emotions. This is about reclaiming your power, about reminding yourself that your worth is not defined by someone else's validation. You don't need her response. You don't need her approval. You don't need closure. The only thing you need is the discipline to walk away and never look back. And here's the best part. Once you truly embrace this mindset, you won't want to text her anymore. You won't feel the need to check up on her to see if she's thinking about you, to wait for her message because you'll be too busy focusing on yourself, building your life, becoming the kind of man who doesn't waste time on people who don't value him. The second you flip the script and go silent, she will notice. Maybe she'll reach out, maybe she won't, but by then it won't even matter because the goal was never to get her back. The goal was to get yourself back for. Your energy is too valuable. Think about how much mental energy you've wasted on this one person. The late night staring at your phone, the constant replaying of old conversations, the endless overthinking, trying to figure out what went wrong, what you could have done differently, what you could say to fix things, all that energy, all that focus, all that time completely wasted on someone who isn't even thinking about you. Now imagine if you put that energy into yourself. Imagine if instead of obsessing over her, you obsessed over your goals. Imagine if you use that same level of focus to get the best shape of your life, to start a new project, to build a skill, to become the kind of man who doesn't even have time to worry about whether or not someone texts him back. Because here's the truth. You are the prize, not her, not anyone else. Your time, your energy, your attention, these are the most valuable things you have. And the moment you start treating them like they're valuable, the entire dynamic changes. Suddenly, you're not the guy waiting for a text. You're the guy too busy living his life to care, whether or not she ever replies. And do you know what happens when you adopt this mindset? People start noticing. Women start noticing because nothing is more attractive than a man who is focused, driven, and completely unbothered by whether or not someone likes him. Confidence isn't about chasing, it's about knowing that you don't have to chase. So take all that energy you've been wasting and redirect it. Stop texting her, stop checking your phone every 5 minutes, stop looking at her social media, hoping for a sign, instead go to the gym. Read books, work on your career. Build something, become so focused on improving yourself that you forget why you even cared about texting her in the first place. And here's the best part: when you finally reach that point, when you truly move on, when you genuinely stop caring, that's when she'll notice. That's when she'll wonder what happened. That's when she might even reach out. But by then, it won't even matter because you'll have already won. So trust me on this, never text her again. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. The only way to win is to walk away first. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Philosophy of Stoicism for more real, relatable advice on navigating the complexities of love and relationships. Remember, relationships take time, care and effort, but the rewards are worth it when fear and caution are met with understanding and patience. They transform into trust and connection. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.